The Christmas lights still hung in the living room window, their colored glow softening the January darkness outside. Sarah sat on the edge of the bed she'd shared with Michael for 11 years, her suitcase open but still mostly empty. She'd been staring at it for 20 minutes, unable to move beyond folding and refolding the same sweater. She had known for 18 months. Known in that deep, undeniable way that settles into your bones and refuses to leave. Not because Michael had done anything terrible or unforgivable. Not because there was someone else, or cruelty, or betrayal. It was quieter than that, and somehow worse. They had simply become strangers who shared a mortgage and a grocery list. Two people who had forgotten how to see each other. The decision itself had calcified slowly, like sediment building up layer by invisible layer. At first, she told herself it was a phase. All marriages went through rough patches. But the rough patch stretched from months into years, and one day she realized she could no longer remember the last time they'd laughed together. Really laughed, not the polite chuckle reserved for coworkers and acquaintances. She'd waited until after Christmas because she wasn't cruel, because their daughter Emma was coming home from college, and because Michael's mother would be there, fragile and hopeful in her 80s, still believing her son had the perfect life she'd always wanted for him. Sarah had smiled through the holiday preparations, had roasted the turkey and wrapped presents in paper covered with snowflakes. She had kissed Michael under the mistletoe his mother insisted on hanging, tasting nothing but obligation. Emma had noticed. Of course she had. At 20, her daughter possessed the painful clarity of youth not yet trained to look away from uncomfortable truths. "You're leaving him, aren't you?" Emma had asked on Christmas night, finding Sarah alone in the kitchen, putting away leftovers in the blue light of the refrigerator. Sarah's hands had frozen over a container of cranberry sauce. "Emma." "Mom, I'm not a kid. I've watched you two for years." Emma's voice cracked. "You don't touch anymore. You don't even fight. You're just hollow." Sarah had turned then, seeing her daughter's eyes bright with tears, and felt her heart splinter. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "Don't apologize to me." Emma's voice was fierce. "Apologize to yourself for waiting this long." 3 days after Christmas, Sarah was finally doing it. Michael was downstairs, probably reading or scrolling through his phone. They'd perfected the art of occupying the same space while miles apart. The sweater in her hands blurred. She thought of their wedding day, 22 years old and so certain. She thought of Emma as a newborn, how they'd taken turns walking her through midnight colic, partners in exhaustion and wonder. She thought of the garden they'd planted together, the first spring in this house. Michael's hands in the dirt beside hers, planting perennials that would come back year after year. When had the garden become just her responsibility? When had they stopped planning anything together at all? A soft knock interrupted her thoughts. "Sarah?" Michael's voice, tentative through the door. "Come in." He stepped inside, saw the suitcase, and stopped. The color drained from his face. "You're leaving?" It wasn't a question. Maybe he'd known too, she thought. Maybe they'd both been waiting for someone to be brave enough to say it out loud. "Yes," she said simply. Michael sank onto the chair by the window, the one where he used to read Emma bedtime stories. He looked older suddenly, or maybe she was just seeing him clearly for the first time in years. "When did you decide?" "A long time ago." Her voice was gentle. "We've been over for a while, Michael. We just didn't know how to admit it." "I love you." His words fell flat, a statement of fact rather than feeling. They both heard it. "I know," Sarah said. "I love you too. But we don't love each other the right way anymore. We don't make each other happy. We don't even really make each other unhappy. We just exist next to each other." Michael's hands gripped his knees. "We could try again. Counseling. We never really gave counseling a fair shot." "We've been in counseling for 2 years." Sarah felt tears building. "Michael, we've tried. We've tried so hard." But you can't force something that isn't there anymore. What about Emma? His voice broke. What about everything we built? Emma is 20. She has her own life. And everything we built, Sarah gestured around the bedroom, the house, the life they'd created, it's beautiful. It was real. It still is real. But it's not enough to keep doing this just because we invested time in it. That's not how life works. I didn't see this coming, Michael said, though they both knew it was a lie. Yes, you did. Sarah sat beside him, taking his hand. It felt like holding a stranger's. You felt it too. The emptiness, the pretending. We've been so busy not hurting each other that we forgot how to be honest. They sat in silence, the Christmas lights still twinkling in the window below. Finally, Michael spoke. My mother will be devastated. I know. She always loved you more than she loved me, I think. Sarah smiled sadly. I'll call her. I'll make sure she knows this isn't about blame. And Emma? Emma already knows. She's angry at both of us for waiting this long. Michael nodded, understanding passing between them like an old language they'd almost forgotten. Where will you go? My sister's, for now. Then I've looked at a few apartments downtown. The one near the park? The brick building? You remembered. Of course I remembered. You showed me the listing 6 months ago. His eyes met hers, and in them she saw grief, but also a reflection of her own relief. I should have known then. Sarah finished packing as twilight deepened into night. Michael helped her carry boxes to her car, their movements efficient, almost peaceful. They'd always worked well together on practical tasks. It was the emotional ones where they'd lost their way. At the door, Sarah turned back. Michael stood in the hallway, framed by the soft glow of their home, and for a moment, she saw every version of him she'd ever known. The boy who'd promised her forever, the man who'd held her hand in the delivery room, the stranger who slept beside her every night, dreaming separate dreams. I hope you find what you need, she said. I hope we both do. Sarah drove away slowly, watching the house disappear in her rearview mirror. The Christmas lights were still on, holding back the darkness. In a few days, Michael would take them down. The new year would settle in, bringing the cold clarity of January. And Sarah, for the first time in years, would begin to feel like herself again. Not happy yet, not healed, but honest. Finally, blessedly honest.
Shadows dance on an empty floor, a silent echo from before. Fading dreams I hold so tight, lost within the endless night. Haunting tune plays in my soul, but whispers of light make me whole. Through every tear strength takes flight, guiding me towards the morning light. The air is still, the world asleep. Secrets that my heart will keep. A gentle breeze begins to sigh beneath a vast and starless sky. A haunting tune plays in my soul, but whispers of light make me whole. Through every tear a strength takes flight, guiding me towards the morning light. Though memories linger soft and low, I feel a new wind start to blow. The sunrise paints the world anew, a promise waiting just for you. A haunting tune plays in my soul, but whispers of light make me whole. Through every tear a strength takes flight, guiding me towards the morning light.